Well, nothing less than a massive, crucial, perhaps the biggest game of the season for Middlesbrough at West Brom this weekend. Really, given the fact that they drew against Sunderland last Saturday, it's got to be win or bust this weekend against West Brom, because sooner or later they're going to have to end this winless run. It's now 9 matches, 4 points from those 9 matches. It's seen Boro plunged right into the relegation mire, and the way the situation is in the bottom, where literally any one of about 8 or 9 clubs could go down this season, it's crucial that Middlesbrough start pulling away. We identified this sequence of games in January as really make or break, and failure to pick up all 3 points against Sunderland has put even added pressure, if such a thing was possible, on the West Brom match, and then of course Blackburn at the end of the month. Also Chelsea to come this month. I think with the best will in the world, we'd love to see Boro get something there later on this month, but the likelihood is it's going to be at best a point, although historically Boro always do play quite well at Stamford Bridge. So really we're focusing on West Brom and Blackburn, and 6 points out of 6 would be absolutely desperately desired to get Middlesbrough to pull away from this bottom 4 or 5 position that they seem currently mired in. Mid-table isn't that far away. That's the frustrating thing. If Middlesbrough could have picked up points against teams like Sunderland, and the points we've dropped before Christmas against teams like Hull and Bolton, then we wouldn't really have the worry we've got now. What's concerning is that the teams around Middlesbrough are spending significant amounts of money, or if they're not doing that, they're certainly bringing players in on loan with a view to long-term signings. West Brom have brought people in, Hull are bringing people in, Stoke have signed people, and there's Middlesbrough really in a situation where they can't add to the squad. The plus point is, of course, that they're hopefully not going to lose anybody from the squad, and that brings us nicely on to Stuart Downer, who could potentially skip with the side at the Hawthorns. It's between Stuart and Chris Riggett for the captaincy armband. The manager hasn't said what he's going to do as yet. Emmanuel Pogatetti's is almost certain to miss the match with the hamstring strain that he picked up against Sunderland, so it's really down to 2 candidates. Personally, I would go for Chris Riggett, not because that Stuart isn't capable of doing the job, but as Gareth says, he really is playing well at the moment. He's in a creative role, and he doesn't need any more pressure on his shoulders than he's already got. Chris Riggett, as a central defender, a position that lends itself to captaincy perhaps better than a free role in midfield, for example, would be a good choice. And it also shows how well he's come on since the summer, where he wasn't even sure about his future at Middlesbrough after spending a large chunk of last season out of the team, and indeed on loan at Stoke. Boro do have injury problems to worry about, of course. Not least Josh Walker, who impressed so well in 45-50 minutes against Sunderland last week before being unfortunately having to leave the field of play. Diggard should be back. O'Neill's got a chance now he's overcome his illness. But Gareth will stick pretty much to the side that played against Sunderland and drew 1s each. Andrew Taylor will almost certainly cover at left back for Emmanuel Pogatetti's. And Alves, of course, has scored in his last couple of games. It'd be wonderful if he can add to his 3 goals in 2 games. So overall, just everything to play for at West Brom. Of course, there's the added factor of Tony Mowbray being in charge of the baggies, but there can be no room for sentiment in this sort of game. It's, as I said earlier, it's win or bust. Boro must get 3 points. They certainly must avoid defeat. The last thing they want to do is end this weekend being on the same number of points as West Brom, who are currently 3 points below Boro. It would be a real statement, significant statement of Boro's demise if they ended up on the same number of points of the team that had been bottom for much of this season. But Gareth's still talking positively. He's got the players fired up, and hopefully they can go into this forthcoming FA Cup break on the back of a much needed win.